Wolf Brigade turns 18 today. 18 years ago tonight, I began teaching in a playground on the east side of the city. There were 6 or 8 people there that we knew, a couple people we didn't. And we just used the basic stuff that I had brought back from California and ran around with in the trunk of my car. We did that for a little while and it was great. We ended up getting kicked out of there because you can't teach adults uh, strength and conditioning for free in a kids park. So we moved to a different kids park and we got kicked out of there ultimately. And then it was late fall in Rochester, New York, so we moved inside, and we moved a few times since then, and the rest is kind of history. I never thought we would make it to 5 years. I never thought we would make it to 10. I certainly didn't think it would make it to 15, and especially considering the last few years, there's no way I thought we would make it to now. Um, and I'm not sure that we really have, but uh, that's where we are. A couple of housekeeping things before I lose the priority of this video. If you've been in touch with me in the last few years, thank you. I'm eager to get back to you. You're on my mind all the time, and I've had to eat a lot of my own words in the last few years, and I knew how most of them tasted because they came from experience. I wasn't pulling things out of thin air, and I've never really been that person. They came from experience, so I was confident sharing them. But the thing that caught me, and I really couldn't get out of my own way with it, was the line, contribute or vacate, contribute or vacate. I've always held myself to a standard that I wouldn't eat at a table, I wouldn't put something on, and with the massive unfortunateness of the last several years, I no longer felt like I was contributing to anything. So I vacated, and that was 100% less to do with care or interest or investment in others, and 100% the fact that self-worth has never been my strong suit, and uh, it's been an uphill battle my whole life. I've been dealing with pretty significant mental health issues since I was a boy, uh, very largely without drugs of any kind. And uh, in the last 6 or 7 years, things have gone sideways enough that really caused me a lot of problems. I kind of just wanted to run and hide starting in like 2019, but we didn't. Um, but I'm grateful to everyone that has been in contact, and I'm eager to get back in touch with you, and that's it. So that's gonna be the end. That's gonna be the end of that story. This is basically just me wanting to thank anyone that has supported us in the previous 18 years and give a short overview of what I think needs to happen next. Something we had talked about for years and then only implemented in small ways was something more like a residency program, almost like a teaching hospital or something. The amount of information we have in that place, the amount of unique homegrown information that we have in that place is extraordinary. I see it every day, even in the small amount of people that we're teaching now. A funnel that I've had access to more recently is very difficult private training clients, mostly coming over from a phenomenal colleague of ours that has a clinic here locally. And when we're putting those puzzles back together, and I'm thinking out how to fix them best, how to apply it to the group, how to use that to elicit progress in people that are either at the beginning, middle, or end stages of their training. Even in this last 2 years of me being one foot in the grave, we've managed to sharpen a lot of edges that I've never seen anyone else even address. So that's going to be the plan moving forward, at least for now. And I'll say this, and it's not meant to be any sort of game or trap or trick or anything else. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. I've been bleeding myself dry for many years prior to this whole fallout in the last couple, and I'll tell you what, the well is dry. So if you've ever been interested in what we're up to, if you're an athlete that needs an advantage and everyone does, if you're a teacher or a trainer that needs an advantage and everyone does, if you want to serve your clients better, if you're a young athlete that's stuck in the gears and you know you have the skill but you need something more in strength or mindset to get you further, if you're a hobbyist athlete and you just simply want to do that forever better, and on the flip side of the coin, if you're a high level professional and you're struggling with performance, injury recovery, injury frequency, weight cutting, we can very much help solve all those problems in very unique and very direct ways. So now would now would be the time to check in with us on that. If you want to come and stay here and visit, you set up your accommodations and we'll make the rest of this stuff happen for you. I want to make sure that we share as much of this as we possibly can, no matter which direction it all goes. It just seems honorable to the process and to the people that built it and to the thousands and thousands of hours I've put into it. Last year in the winter, I fell down and broke my leg in half. So on the contribute or vacate front, I wasn't even at that point a useful training partner. So I was underneath it, still am, and having to put myself back together from another very serious injury and surgery that did not complement my other ones very well at all has been not great, certainly not easy, and really again only valuable in the sense that we've learned a lot of things that I couldn't have learned otherwise. Although I wish I could have somehow. So if you're interested, find us. And if you are interested in finding out if what I'm saying is some sort of trap or trick, find someone who's actually trained with us. And whether they like me or not, they're going to tell you that it's some of the most valuable information they've ever been presented with. And if they don't tell you that, then they're lying and they're trying to sell you a product. In the interim here, we had tried to put some hardcore shows at the gym. It's something I'd wanted to do for a long time, and it just wasn't going to fit. So we had done that, and I had a pretty large role in building that scene here, and I was very proud of that. We kept it clean. We dealt with a lot of trouble. We handled it properly. The shows that we put on, although they were wild and always kind of tumultuous, they were safe. They were safe-ish for kids, and that's important. Hardcore has to feel wild and everything, but kids also have to be looked out for. That's what we were doing at the gym. That brought with it its own accusations of again things like racism. I got accused again of possibly stealing, and shockingly, some of that stuff was coming from the children of some of my friends, which is super clownish because one of the main ones has actually known me since I was a kid and seen me um, rise to the occasion in defense of others when they needed it badly, and oftentimes involving Nazis or whatever other dickheads were around that were just there to cause trouble. So we're probably going to do one more show at the gym, the late spring or this summer, and then we're gonna put a pin in that. Sometimes it's interesting to think how mouthy people are and how far it gets them, and how in this weird day and age simply being quiet and doing a good job is not a growth model. And so for the last couple of years I needed to kind of sit in all that and figure out what my role in it was, because as much as we had done a lot of really positive things, we had also made a lot of mistakes, and I had made a lot of mistakes, and one of the biggest ones was never really reclaiming ownership of the space that was that gym. I built that very deliberately by hand to try and incorporate the things that had made me me. Hardcore music, action sports, martial arts, strength conditioning, kind of, just living life on the outskirts, a lot of violence and things like that have all informed sensibilities that were able to help an awful lot of people. As it turns out, what it attracted was a tremendous amount of broken toys. And while there's some satisfaction to that, it's also a difficult thing to navigate when you are one yourself. So there's a lot of things I hadn't been addressing properly, and man, talk about regrets that you will not get to change. We want to use the gym for the most positive purposes that we can, and right now that's going to be disseminating information. The platform that we've built, the information, the writing, the narratives, the videos, the transferability, talking about what implement is what we can use for everything anywhere we are. Those concepts are more valuable now than they ever have been, and they were all constructed because I've been watching the world through a really clear lens for a long time, and I mean some of the stuff right now admittedly was unpredictable, but we knew the world was going to end up here, and this is why we engineered this project the way we did. So for it to have disappeared at a time when I believe the world could have used it most is hard to deal with also. So they're at least going to get some of that back, and I'll just figure out the best way to disseminate that. I'm tired of getting deplatformed for things that are just so utterly ridiculous. The entire racism, Nazi, fascism, whatever, began from one person in Northern California that had gotten himself into some shit for filming his gym members without their knowledge and getting caught. And it was very soon after I had taught a clinic out there, and some people that had come to the clinic are people that the world doesn't like very much. And so this fucking loser decided to distract from videotaping his members without their knowledge, by saying that I was out there recruiting for white supremacy at the clinic that we did at his facility. That included quite literally every manner of person I've ever seen or come in contact with. It was fantastic. It was dogs, it was hippies, it was everything. It was great. So for that to be the inciting incident is something that has essentially ruined my career in strength and conditioning, and removed many of the things that we worked the hardest on and were proudest of. Um, has been hard, and I thought that that might have taken us out then. It didn't. A lot of the stuff since I've thought would take us out, it didn't, and I'm still not really sure. But if you've supported us and enjoyed what we did in the past, we've always appreciated you. And if you've been in contact with me directly in the last couple of years, you're on a list. I think about you often. I appreciate you a lot, and I'm eager to get back in touch with you. The flip side of that is if I've helped you a lot remotely, offsite, just on the internet, phone calls, connections, whatever the case is, and you ran for the hills when you heard a couple things about me that didn't make a ton of sense. Um, well, just go fuck yourself then and stay gone, because I don't partially contribute to people. And so I've also been through the ringer with many, many people, and they have always gotten a conversation no matter what. And that's really important. So we'll be back again on this probably sooner than last time. If there's any actual relevant feedback here, we'll address it one on one. And I appreciate you listening. And again, if you're interested in finding out what you don't know about strength conditioning, mindset, martial application, anything that we do differently than anyone else does, now's the time, because I'm not sure how long it's going to be open. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again soon.